Hey guys, this is a market update. Things could literally not look any better for us right now. You have a massive macro bull market happening, pushing all asset prices higher. And then specifically for crypto, the Genius Act and Clarity Act, that's the stablecoin bill and the market structure bill, both looking to pass through in the US. So that means that this industry solidifies itself into law. It's a better ecosystem, and so it's going to just grow, right? Over the coming decades, 10x higher, right? Why not? And then over this bull market, I think just 100% higher, right? Just double the value of it over the rest of this bull market. So I want to give you some levels and what I'm doing with short-term trades and longer-term investing. Firstly, for Bitcoin, look, we're in week 2 of this breakout. I think we go to 130, 140K easily. The reason being, look, this is a inverse head and shoulders. You could also say it's a cup and handle, but in any case, from the low to the breakout, put that on top, right? You're looking at 130, 140K. That's not that far away. We're at 120K, so you're looking for a 15% move to the upside. I mean, yeah, it could easily happen, right? Now, that's the initial level for this breakout, but I think we go higher in this bull market. I've made some updates to my short-term trades. I put that in the Discord server. So if you want to see what I'm doing with my short-term trades and at certain levels that I'm looking at, then you can read what I put in the Discord server. If you don't have the Discord server, it's part of the crypto investor course, so I'll link that below. You can check it out. There's 300 videos as well on trading crypto. That's where I am. I just think we go a lot higher for the rest of this bull market. And then if you're an investor long term, like 10 years, 15 years out, we just go much higher, not just for Bitcoin, but for crypto as well, because stable coins are going to proliferate on these chains. And that means finance is going to proliferate on them and everything else around that. So I just think the whole industry goes a lot higher, right? And so investor, great news. Trader, great news, because we're in the midst of a massive breakout. We're only in week 2 right now, and these breakouts for this bull market typically last 4, 5, 6 weeks. So I just think everything is looking good for crypto. If you trade crypto or Bitcoin and you haven't got a Bybit account yet, I've got a deposit bonus link in the description. So if you click that as a new user and make a deposit, they'll give you a deposit bonus to trade with. Anything you deposit, they'll give you a bonus, and then you can go ahead and trade with that in your account. Altcoins are seeing a huge bid right now as well. Potential alt season coming over the next few months. Why? The Genius Act. It's a stablecoin bill going through that is going to proliferate trillions of dollars worth of stablecoins on these chains. Right? If you look at how many stablecoins are in existence right now, you've got $266 billion worth of stablecoins. You can see the growth over time, right? Just up and to the right slowly. Well, this bill is going to enable the big banks to get involved. And I think we're looking at trillions, right? The Treasury thinks $3-4 trillion worth of stablecoins in the short term. I think it's tens of trillions moving higher and higher over time. Just like e-commerce started at 0 and every year just got higher and higher and higher as a percentage of sales. The dollar, I think just the majority of it is going to clear and settle on blockchains. So if you're a long-term investor and you want to be in, crypto that has this on top, right? Ethereum is the major dominant chain for that, but you have other US-based blockchains that are going to probably proliferate as well. So just great news as an investor, right? And that's why these altcoins are getting bid up, and we're in a bull market. So great news. And if you trade them, big opportunity. But look, we're in price discovery for a lot of these coins as well. So it's hugely volatile. Massive breakout for XRP. Could go anywhere. Could double from here. It's going to probably draw down 50% at some point and then go again. I don't really trade like that, but some people do. For Ethereum, look, it still hasn't broken out. You want to break out of this 4,000 level, right? This whole entire kind of volatile consolidation here, at some point it's going to break out. I know that there's a few treasury companies now that are buying ETH, right? So they're actually buying ETH rather than the ETH Foundation just selling everything they have all the time. So that's actually quite good news. The market gives you so many opportunities. This is insane volatility. 6 months ago, we were at 4,000. We literally went down to 1,500, and then we just V-shaped all the way back up to 4,000. It's absolutely insane. It's almost untradeable, right? I do have an ETH trade on that I got in. I sat on a loss for a while, and now obviously good news again. You have to go higher, right? The dominant ecosystem in crypto, the Genius bill going through, most stablecoins are on ETH. Stablecoins lead to then other use cases, DeFi, etc. This thing just has to break out at some point. So, I just think it's good news for the next 6 months, right? Crypto, long-term, 10x. The rest of this bull market, you just have to say, well, things going to double at least, right? So then you're looking at Bitcoin going higher as well. This is my red box, my little red box. This is when my short-term trades, I'm going to start thinking about getting out. Like I said, if you want exact levels, I've got those in the Discord server. I put a post in there today. But the little red box is where Bitcoin is very, very overdone in price versus its longer term trends. So that's when short term trades, I'm going to start to think about getting out. But like I said, my investment bag is the biggest, and I just, dollar cost average over time, and I just want the long term average of Bitcoin, so I don't really care too much. But for right now, still buying, right? Because why not? We're not in the little red box yet. So that's where I am. And look, it's just great news for crypto. Super volatile, yes. Don't get wiped out on leverage and buying, a breakout. We are going to get pullbacks as well, but I still think the bull market has a long way to go overall. I'll link this website below as well. CoinGlass is a great data source. They have this indicator set, which shows basically when crypto or Bitcoin is very, very highly priced in relation to its trend, which is typically an area that, well, you definitely don't want to mortgage the house to get in at that level, right? And if you are looking to take profits or sell some, that would be when to sell. And you can see that literally none of these have been hit yet, right? So hold 100%, sell 0%. So this is a lot of on-chain metrics, technical analysis metrics you can see here. None of them have been hit, not a single one. MVRV hasn't been hit. Altcoin season index hasn't even hit. You can actually see the altcoin index potentially starting to ramp up as well. You can see that. This is from Glassnode. So the alt season indicator fired on July 9th. This means stablecoin supplies are expanding. Capital is flowing into Bitcoin and ETH, and simultaneously the altcoin market. You can just see that here. So look, it looks like we're in the midst of another expansion for crypto. So great news. And this bull market, we've had those expansions, and then we've had the contraction again. So that may happen again. I'm sure it will, but none of these have been fired off. So again, I'm really looking at when will the bull market end, right? When is a time when prices are massively overextended? That's when you kind of want to be looking to get out if you want to do that for some of your portfolio or for your trades. But nothing's hit, right? So we can go much higher. At some point, I'm going to get bearish because when everything looks perfect and everyone's bullish, that's typically when you get those drawdowns, right? Just out of nowhere. But for right now, I just don't think the market is really overextended. If you're a long-term investor, everything looks fantastic. These prices in 10 years' time, are not going to look that expensive for the best assets. This is amazing as well. President preparing executive order to allow 401k plans to tap a broad pool of alternative assets. Amazing. Right, so just passive capital flowing into Bitcoin, basically. Amazing news. So long term, I just don't want to be anywhere else. For the short term, when everything's too perfect, maybe take some off the table. But it's absolutely great news. Now, the reason I think we go further in this bull market is because of this. The US is printing a lot of debt. The Treasury is printing a lot of new debt that is going to flow stimulus into markets. And you have a huge investment boom coming. The Middle East are flowing trillions of dollars worth of new investment into the States, recycling those dollars back into the US. The whole game here is they want to get GDP at a higher rate than the blended cost of capital, which is the Treasury rate that they finance at. So they really need GDP at like 4%, right? So GDP at 4%, markets go way higher. And you can see here that we're starting again, right? The debt ceiling has been raised. Markets are starting to see that capital flow in again. And that's not going to stop, right? The BBB has passed. The investment flows are coming into the States. So we go higher, right? Because the dollar will debase itself. The maths is simple but difficult. As long as the nominal GDP growth outpaces the funding rate, the debt can be considered sustainable. What does that mean anyway? It's not sustainable, is it? You have to constantly print new dollars, and that is what they're doing right now. So markets go higher. It's just no more complex than that. They're printing new dollars. They're printing dollar stimulus. Stimulus is coming in from investments outside of the US. GDP is going to run hot, which is their specific plan, which means markets go higher. That is the specific plan to debase previous debt. And that means asset prices go higher on purpose as well. Because in the US, as asset prices rise, that actually feeds into tax receipts as well. It feeds into inflation. It raises the price level of everything and reduces the cost of previous debt. That's the game, and we're in it, and we're in crypto, which is going to benefit from this. So if you trade crypto, the Bybit deposit bonus will be down below. And if you want the crypto investor course, I'll link that in the description as well. I'm James, this is Manzi G. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.